This is the skirt that killed thousands. Not a metaphor, not a joke. Actual dead bodies. Imagine wearing a dress so massive, so insanely flammable, that brushing past a candle could turn you into a human torch. No exaggeration. Meet the crinoline skirt, fashion's deadliest disaster. So, yeah, buckle up. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you are new here. If you think today's fashion mistakes are bad, just wait till you hear about the skirt that could literally kill you. And no, this isn't some dusty footnote in a boring history book. This was everywhere. London, Paris, New York. The world went crinoline crazy. Fashionable? Sure. But also a walking death wish. A skirt that killed thousands. This wasn't just fashion. It was a full-blown death trap disguised as an outfit. Oh, and the logistics? 6 feet wide, hard as steel, impossible to fit through a doorway, and every step a gamble between getting dragged under a carriage or taking flight like Mary Poppins on steroids. And did I mention it was basically on fire 24/7? One little spark, and you're a walking burn fire. But of course, women wore them anyway, because, you know, fashion. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're diving headfirst into one of history's wildest fashion disasters. If you think corsets and hobble skirts are bad, just wait. And trust me, it wasn't just a few clumsy accidents. Whole cities panicked when a crinoline caught fire. It was chaos, and somehow still considered stylish. The birth of the crinoline. All right, how did humanity even get here? It's the 1840s. Women were chasing that perfect hourglass silhouette, but wearing 10 heavy petticoats stacked like a lasagna. Hot, sweaty, heavy, literally a full-body sauna suit. So some fashion genius has a brilliant idea. What if we just build the volume instead? Boom, the crinoline is born. A literal steel cage. But make it fashion. Picture this. You're walking around wearing a giant birdcage strapped to your hips. Super practical, right? Navigating life in these things was a nightmare. Couldn't fit through doors, couldn't sit down normally. And if a strong breeze caught you, congratulations. You're airborne like a Victorian weather balloon. By the 1850s, if your skirt didn't block an entire sidewalk, were you even trying? The bigger the crinoline, the richer you looked. Because nothing screams class like needing a team of assistants to help you turn around. Nothing said wealth like being physically inconvenient to everyone around you. If your dress didn't require its own zip code, were you even fashionable? When fashion turned deadly. Crinoline, a walking fire hazard. But we're not just here for a laugh. The crinoline wasn't just ridiculous, it was deadly. These skirts were made of steel frames, wrapped in highly flammable fabrics like cotton, muslin, and tulle. Now imagine all that. Swirling around open flames, one misstep near a candle. Whoosh! You're a Victorian firework. And it only gets worse. Fires from crinolines were common. In 1863 in Philadelphia, a theater packed with women in crinolines caught fire, causing a massive panic that led to over 2,000 deaths. Yeah, 2,000 deaths. Because looking cute was apparently worth spontaneously combusting. It got so bad, doctors actually coined the term crinoline burns. Ah yes, the kind of medical milestone nobody asked for. Thousands dead. Every other day, a gorgeous woman goes up in flames. Doctors even started publishing warnings, but let's be real. In today's world, Victorian Instagram would have been like risking third-degree burns for the vibe. Crinoline in the news. Public outcry. Eventually, the public caught on to just how insanely dangerous these skirts were. Newspapers across Europe started mocking the trend. Cartoons showed women bursting into flames like fireworks displays. Headlines read like sarcastic warnings, fashion or funeral pyre. You decide. One British newspaper called crinolines floating death traps and asked, "What's next, ladies? Gunpowder corsets? Dynamite handbags?" It wasn't just angry moms writing letters. This was a full-blown PR crisis for fashion. But did it stop anyone? Absolutely not. Because when the choice is between fiery doom and looking unfashionable, society made its priorities very clear. Industry response and societal rejection. As the public outcry grew louder, several newspapers began printing editorials demanding that the fashion world acknowledge the danger of these skirts. Some even went so far as to call the crinoline a symbol of vanity gone wrong, while others made it clear women's lives were being sacrificed on the altar of style. And of course, the crinoline manufacturers? They were quick to deny the dangers. They insisted, "Oh, we just make the skirts, not the fire." Yeah, good luck with that. But after several disastrous incidents, including fires at public events and a notorious crinoline explosion in London, popular retailers began pulling these skirts from the shelves. Even some of the most established designers started making a stand, calling for more practical, less incendiary fashion. It took a little while, but finally, the crinoline was being dethroned. Women wanted something that wouldn't kill them just by walking through a room, and society as a whole agreed. Maybe we can live without setting ourselves on fire. The death of the crinoline. Now I know what you're thinking. How did this insanity end? By the 1870s, crinolines were finally out of fashion, thankfully. But here's why. Women were literally burning to death left and right. No, seriously, flammable fabrics plus giant hoop skirts equals to a recipe for disaster. Queen Victoria, bless her heart, called them absurd monstrosities. And when Queen Victoria spoke, society listened. So, yeah, when the Queen of England says something is ridiculous, you know it's time to retire it. Yeah, she finally stepped in, saying, "Hey, maybe don't risk your life for a fashion trend." Real groundbreaking advice, right? It's like she was the first to realize maybe, just maybe, fashion should not be a fire hazard. Who would have thought? But of course it wasn't just her. The rise of feminism and the growing demand for practicality also helped end the crinoline era. Women wanted clothes that didn't double as a death trap. Shocking, I know. And by the end of the century, the crinoline was a thing of the past. No more suffocating in iron cages or taking out half the town when you tried to squeeze through a door. Women could actually move again without fearing for their lives. Hallelujah! It's about time we got rid of this ridiculous contraption and let women, live. In conclusion, before you try to compare other fashion disasters like the corset, basically crushing your ribs for a tiny waist, or hoop skirts, which made walking feel like you were in a constant tug of war with your own body, let's be clear. Sure, those were fashion fails, but at least they didn't set you on fire like the crinoline. Nothing screams a style like risking a fiery death for a fuller silhouette, right? I mean, it's one thing to barely breathe or trip over yourself, but it's a whole different level of madness when your outfit could actually kill you in the most dramatic way possible. This is like taking fashion victim to a whole new, literally explosive extreme. At least corsets and hoop skirts didn't double as human torches. Honestly, nothing says high fashion like igniting your entire wardrobe with one wrong move. They didn't even need to create a hot new trend. They were literally on fire. Talk about fashion going out with a bang. So, the next time you complain about tight jeans or platform shoes, just remember, at least they won't set you on fire. Seriously, no one's going up in flames because of their wardrobe anymore. That's real progress, folks. And a special thanks to Queen Victoria for finally calling out this absurd fashion trend. If she hadn't stepped in, we'd probably still be waddling around in metal cages, gasping for air and hoping we don't combust. What's the most ridiculous fashion trend you've ever heard of? Drop your stories in the comments. We want to know what insane trends you think deserve a historical spotlight or even a comeback. Like, share, and subscribe if you're relieved we left this nonsense in the past. Trust me, your wardrobe's way better off now. History was wild. We've got the receipts, people. And oh yeah, the past must be crazy.